discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The agenda has been adopted. Presentation and approval of the minutes.
Madam President, I move we approve the minutes.
I'll second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the November board meeting. We have two sets, actually.
Yeah.
We have to do both.
We have, yes, if you want to do both, we have our special meeting and the December 4th and the November 20th.
Madam President, I move to amend my motion as to add minutes from both meetings.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes for the December 4th and the November 20th meetings. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. All opposed? December 4th and November 20th minutes have been approved. Public forum. The Board of Education welcomes public comments during the visitors portion of the school board meeting agenda. All comments must be related to a topic on the agenda for that particular meeting. The public comment section of the agenda will be the only time that the board takes any questions or comments from the public unless we as a board choose to solicit more information from a person or a group attending the meeting on matters specific to the agenda. Any comments from, this is where we would like just.
YouTube.
Yeah,
Give it a moment. It's there's a little bit of a latency, so
that's fine.
there hasn't been any yet.
Is anyone watching?
Two, and I'm one of them.
It is.
All right, well, if that other person doesn't have anything to say, we'll move right along.
5 now.
Superintendent's report, Mr. Maestas.
Madam President, members of the board, on top of the list is our issue that just came up. Mrs. Gates called me a little while back. We're having a lot of water in the locker rooms. The was at the gym. After calling Paul Durbin in and looking at the situation, it looks like our septic is backed up. Talking to Tim, who's in taking care right now at the games. I've been coordinating with him. He's called Paul Arrington, who Tim says is probably the one that can probably handle this because it's a pretty long stretch. Now, the city did come out, but because the pipes are on our property, they can't do anything because what they do is they blow air through it, and if for some reason they break the pipe, the city's liable for it, so they wouldn't even touch it. So according to Tim, the earliest that we can get Mr. Arrington out is gonna be tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So we have to make a decision on what we're gonna do with Kaiser Junior High in the morning. Maybe, I don't know how we would look at, how we would look. Maybe we could bring in the out-of-town kids that come in the small buses and maybe house them somewhere, high school or somewhere, and then do a 2-hour delay, and then bring them in, and hopefully that'll give us a chance to unclog everything. And if it doesn't, then just cancel school for the rest of the day. But I don't know yet. We'll meet after this and see, come up with a determination. Also, your question is gonna be the basketball games we have tomorrow, because the biggest part, the most damage is done in the locker room, and it smells bad. And so, if anything, we're probably gonna have to move the games to Huff's gym. No concessions, and just the games and get them done so that we can get them played. But that's all still up in the air to see what gets done tomorrow, like I said. So that came up just a little while ago. So that's what we're dealing with. Moving on, I did send out an email earlier this week about the retention bonuses to staff and some other things that have come up in their new in this last pay period. The retention bonuses were contingent to ESSER 3 funds. With the ESSER 3 funds ending, so did the funding for retention bonuses. And talking to Cassie, she does recall that Johnny did send out an email at the end of last year, letting the staff members know that the retention bonuses would not continue based on the fact that the ESSER would end. And then the other charges that are in there was, we just had open enrollment, so some people kind of changed their plans, and so whatever they changed it to, they come out a month ahead, so, because then, in January is when they get put in there. And there was a $2 difference for the quarterly workman's comp. And from what I understand, and Zach can jump in there, but, from what I understand, that's a quarterly $2, fee that happens now in the quarter, but it shouldn't have, it doesn't have to continue, right, Zach?
Yes, it just comes out every quarter.
Okay.
There's only 4 of them, it's only $2, so it's not a huge difference. It will go back to normal their next check.
Okay. Okay, so, like I said, I did send out that email earlier this week, and letting them know, again, that, the funding was, tied to the ESSER III, federal fundings. And that's how the application was written, with Ms. Hyman when she wrote it. That's when we were able to get the money to do that retention. The New Mexico PED, sent out a memo, what was it, on the 9th, we're needing to basically post our district report card, an overview of how our schools, are doing and so forth in the local newspaper. So, I think Cassie included what I put on there. It's a real basic thing. I went off the guidance that they gave me here from the Fed, and then on that, we also have a link for them. If anybody wants to look at it closer, you can click on it. It'll take you to New Mexico Vistas, and it'll break everything down by school, and you can see where everything's at. And so this should go in the paper hopefully tomorrow, I think.
Is that link on our website, or is it, where is it at, just in the newspaper?
It's in the newspaper, and we can
put it on the website.
Easy. So, actually, I think what we'll do is we'll put the whole little overview report, we'll just put it on there, about the schools or whatever, we'll do that tomorrow.
Okay.
And so it'll be there. And if need to, you could just go to the New Mexico PED and do newmexicovistas.org, and then you just click by the school. So, so that would, that's gonna be up there in the newspaper. And then you also have a pretty lengthy update on the school demolition planning. I decided just to let you have it so you can see it firsthand, so that you know exactly where it's at. Right now, what we're looking at is, we're looking at moving the boiler over here by the elevator. That's the first thing that has to happen, and then after that, and according to talking to Tim, they're looking.
I'm sorry, is there someone else?
Yeah, they're working on
Okay.
fire panel.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
all right.
So, the plan is to get the boiler over when the weather warms up around April or so forth. And then they're scheduling the demo of it through the summertime when not so many people are around. So they're moving right along with that. Kaiser Elementary.
Hold on one second.
Yes,
real quick.
talk to me.
On that PDF that you sent us, the one you were just talking about with the Kaiser Junior High, whenever they said they're gonna take it down to like the basement, how are they gonna, is there a plan to backfill?
Oh,
all
you
of
mean
that?
the old junior high?
Yeah,
Yeah, what we're gonna backfill it, and what we had talked about is, concrete.
oh, okay,
That's what the plan is.
all right.
Okay.
And are they going to get that stained glass that's at the top of the?
We're gonna salvage whatever we can, yeah, that's what, yeah. Cause we got a lot of the, PSFA stuff in there that.
Oh,
Yeah, I got PSFA on my mind, okay, I'm sorry. But, yeah, we gotta get all that stuff and see where we're gonna move that to. But, you know, that'll hopefully all get done, and you'll have yourself a nice little area there. So, at least it won't be an eyesore, and we have to pay $15,000 a year in insurance.
Amen.
So, Kaiser Elementary, and Mrs. Gaither may jump in whenever, at the request of teachers, her and I have been meeting with the teachers over at Kaiser. They're wanting to make the move to go back into a self-contained classroom where the teacher keeps a group of kids and so forth. And so, in meeting with them and talking to them and working things out, starting in January, we are going to go back to a self-contained classroom with the teachers, where one teacher keeps a group of kids all day, the other all day. And we are making one change. We're changing one of the teachers and bringing one back to the high school to do science. Okay, so I won't use names, it's a personal matter, but that is what's going on. decision was made, with myself, Ms. Gaither, and the teachers on what was in the best interest of all kids, not just Kaiser kids, but also high school kids. So, that'll happen, at the new year. Update Peyton panels, you just asked, is somebody working out there? That's what they're doing out there. Subcontractors are out there getting the wiring and all these little, sensors and all that. You can see back there, there's still some wiring, so they still need a couple of the pull stations to put up or whatever it is. In talking to Jessica, she said they're pretty close to wrapping this up. Once they wrap that up, then they start working on the panel itself up in the front. So we're looking at this getting done here pretty quick, in high school. So, that's a good thing. And then, let me see if I have it out here. Okay, and of course, all scoreboards are up at Health Stadium at Yellow Jacket Gym. And of course, the one that, was donated was put up by Paul and Tim a long time ago. So, if you haven't seen them, they're really sharp. The one at the, stadium is really nice too, so, they look sharp. So we did take pictures with the guys from Bank of Clayton for the Yellow Jacket ones. We got to schedule the time to come do a picture for the cup, and so we can give them as much publicity as we can. The PSOC, I always have a hard time saying that, meeting took place December 16th, and while I was waiting over at junior high to see what's gonna happen with our situation, I did get an email from Elise Ramos. They did approve our funding, their portion of the funding to get the fire panels done at the junior high. So, so that's gonna be 37% of the whole project. The rest of it will get done through SB 9 monies or whatever monies we got back from, the federal programs that we used for the high school panels. So, we'll get to, I'll get to working with, Jessica to see how soon we can get the, junior high going with the fire panels. So, we did get approved.
Great.
What else? Ms. Kiesling and I will be attending the Special Education Academy, January 7th and 9th at Hyatt Regency Tamaya Resort. I had, had to go with her controller. She gets kinda crazy. No, I'm just kidding. So.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. Okay, so we will be there, the 7th through the 9th. And then, of course, our winter break, will start the 23rd, and, staff and students come back to work. Students come back on the 7th, the staff comes back on the 6th, is that correct? Something like that? Yeah, the 7th is the 6th is a Monday, it's a work day, and then on the 7th, we have the kids coming back. 12-month employees, I believe they come back on the 2nd. Okay, so, but, I mean, if they're wanting to use vacation days and that, I mean, nobody's here anyway, no kids, no teachers. There's nothing really that's pushing it, that pressing that we have to do, so if they wanna take additional days off. And then, the last thing I have to do, and I do have to, apologize to Mr. Wood for this afternoon. I had a lot of issues on my plate when he called me about the board packets. I was a little wound up with the water situation and everything going on. But what I've done, I think you've all noticed, if you get into your Google Drive, which is the little triangle, multicolored, what I did is I shared with each and every one of you what I have on my board packets. That has every single board packet that I've created digitally, every month from January all the way through December. So if you ever have to go back and look at something, it's right there. And what I also did is I shared that whole thing with all of you. So anytime anything is added to it, you will automatically have access to it. What I will do is, just like we were doing when I needed to get board packets, the hard copy ones, as soon as Cassie gets everything uploaded to the proper folder, I will send a text out telling you guys everything is ready to go in the board packets. Please let me know if you can't get access to it so we can get it taken care of.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep. So for me, I think that's it. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
When is like y'all's You know, we didn't, like, cook the lunch for all the teachers?
We did it last Friday.
Well, so we can't do it this time.
I mean,
When's the next time that all the teachers are gonna be in? It's just,
Probably towards the end of the year. We did a Christmas, and it just happened to fall in the same place. This is the only time that we had a Friday that was considered professional, development. And so I know that if they're scheduled to leave at 1:30, we're not gonna get them to come and eat. So we had to do it, during one of those days, so we did it last Friday. We had it catered through, Wild Horse, and we had all the staff, and it was a great meal. We had a lot of leftovers. They had leftovers on Monday and so, or Tuesday, whatever.
Monday and Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday, so, but yeah, we did that, with them there. I thought it was a big success, and we liked it.
it
I
was
would
good.
like-
We were
I would
happy.
like for us board members to like cook burgers or something someday whenever y'all are having like a staff day, you know,
What about-
like all the staff's gonna be there.
What about teacher appreciation week
Yeah, we do that,
That'd be perfect, yeah.
for the entire staff?
yeah,
How about that?
yeah, all the staff.
So that's in May, I think.
It's in May usually.
Oh, that's not till May.
April, May, something like that.
Yeah, April or May, but that might,
Which might be better to stand outside and cook.
Yeah, it'll be warm.
It was cold last time.
So,
I would like for us to do that, so I think that's good.
for sure, I know the staff would appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay, so, who wants to go first? Ms. Chelsea?
yeah, we usually go with
Ms. Valdez
Ms.
is next.
Valdez.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board. I just have a little bit to report for this month. We had our second 9 weeks PAC literacy night on Monday night, and we had around 100 attendees. We had Mrs. Levi and Mrs. Smith, our reading specialist, talk to parents about how to support literacy and making, reading with your kids and talking about the different elements of reading. And then we had the kiddos decorate little wooden ornaments, and I also talked about the library revamp project that's happening right now. That's kind of an ongoing thing. So that was a really good turnout. We had a lot of good feedback on that. Tomorrow, we'll be having our Christmas music program at Wood Auditorium at 1 p.m. That will be happening. Also, Kirkman, the high school student council sponsor, have reached out to me about student council coming over to read some Christmas stories to our kids. So we're gonna have some high school student council members come over tomorrow morning, starting at 9, and they're gonna go around to the different classrooms and read books to our kiddos for Christmas. So I thought that was a good thing. Let's see, we will be having, Friday will just be a drop everything and read pajama day, Christmas party day, to just wrap up the first semester, and then that's an early release day. We did complete all of our middle of year assessments with iReady and iStation. I think we might have had a few makeups to do, so I will be sharing that data with the board in our January board meeting to look at the growth that's happened from beginning of year to middle of year. And I do not have any updates on the daycare certification at this time. We're still just looking to see where we can, get funding for the purchase of those cribs and finding something for that shade structure. And that's all I have, if anybody has any questions or anything.
I thought that, Kim Williams said she had the cribs.
And she said she was gonna donate them, that's what she told me.
Yeah, that's what we hear, so we'll see.
Okay, yeah, I haven't had any she hasn't contacted me
Okay.
in a while, so,
Well,
but that would be wonderful.
we will request that she contacts you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, you feel better.
Thank you.
All right, Kaiser Junior High, Ms. Renee Baker.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board. Our current enrollment is 118, Kaiser and the junior high are both at 59. We're almost done with semester finals. We'll finish, for junior high, we'll finish taking the last one tomorrow. It'll be 7th period. We've been on block schedules, so Monday was no test, Tuesday was 246, Wednesday, 135. Sorry, I'm tired. And then tomorrow will be 7th. So, we will finish that first thing in the morning. We are also done with the iReady testing, and I will get that data also in January. Basketball is going pretty well. They're playing right now, actually. I know that the 7th grade girls won. I do not know about the boys, but they are playing, tonight in Tucumcari. It was a makeup game from a couple of weeks ago when Tucumcari didn't have refs. So there's that, and we will not have there's no games for junior high over break. And our first game will be that Monday that we come back, but it'll be in Roundtown. So, and that I don't really have anything else to report if there's any questions.
Great, thank you.
Thanks.
Don't get sick.
Or wait till Friday.
Let's go there.
I know. All right, Mr. Howard, Clayton High School.
All right, Madam President, members of the board, enrollment is still at 121. And we have some new students coming in from the Philippines, one for us, one for junior high. My iReady testing will be scheduled for January 13th through 17th. We want to get through the finals before we focus on, our growth. Out of attendance, the day 80 was kind of a good day. It wasn't as good as day 40, but I think it hurt us that it was that right after the Thanksgiving break. I was also unable to hype it up and get some prizes and things like that. So and of course at the high school, the attendance, if you miss a period, it still counts against us. So we were missing period here, period there, which I'm working on that solution. I think I'll talk about here in just a minute. There is some other news. New Mexico Vistas report that Mr. Meistes found reports students present in our absentee report. Students present more than 90% of the enrolled school days was 64%, which is lower than the district at 75%, and the state is at 66%. So we're almost where the state is, but we're a little lower than the district at high school. So we'll be working hard to improve that. Part of the problem seems to be when they come back from lunch, or they're not coming back from lunch. And so I've also let the students know that they may be a closed campus. If they can't handle it, I can't trust them to come back, I may have to close campus. Just to let you know, that's where I'm headed with that. Graduation, however, for the high school is very good. Our growth over the last 3 years was 8%, where the state's growth was negative 0.1%. So we kind of blew the state away in that growth and graduation. Our 4-year graduation rate was not higher than 90%, which is also really, really good. Our college and career readiness percent for students, for those who are participating in college and career readiness courses, was 69.2%, where the state is 53.6%, so we're way above state average there. At our school, students receiving a passing grade in college and career readiness courses was 100%. We're still under fire watch. I think Mr. Meistes touched base on that. As soon as that thing is ready to roll, I want to have a fire drill. Let's test it out. I'm ready to have real fire alarms. Finals are going pretty well this week. I don't know about today. I'm sorry. I just couldn't make it. I hate it when it happens this way, so I'm going to do my best to come in tomorrow with a mask on. Still not feeling really good right now. But there were no hitches. I did hear, a couple of things. As a typical when I'm not there, certain students do certain things. But I've got a plan for them too. Grades are due January 7th when we come back. So we print our report cards and have them out by Friday the 10th. Now on with athletics. Football team is finishing up their inventory. Make sure I have everything inventory listed to me. The head coach position was posted. I also posted it on NMACT, CHASA, which is Colorado's site, Kansas's coaches membership, Oklahoma's coaches association. I've had about 6 or 8 already reach out to me in just the 2 days that I've had it up. So I'll be putting all those together in a pile. Then I'm gonna start when we come back from break and build some committees for a hiring committee to work on hiring for our new coaches, for our new football coach. The cheer team travels to Roswell for a competition on January 11th. basketball may have to started at 3-6 so far this season. Two of the last, lost our first one, won the last two in the cowbell. So it's a good, strong finish for the ladies. The boys have started, unfortunately, 7-2 now. But I saw the rankings, I think we were ranked 5th, before last night's game. Let's see. Homecoming, I kind of moved homecoming because we had it set for a non-district game, but it doesn't seem to work. So we need to have a district game so that we can have a whole week of homecoming festivities. So we moved it to January 25th, the game versus Estancia. I think that's all I have, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, keep it feeling better.
Yeah, I hope all of you all feel better.
Thank you.
Go get some sleep.
Okay,
Looks
board
tired.
communication, climate survey, David Chavez from CES.
Madam President, members of the board, I talked to David this morning, he was supposed to get me, some information, never did, so I called him again, I told him board meetings now. And basically what he's told me is that there's some great climate surveys out there and you just gotta look them up and so forth, they'll assist with it. What he wanted to do, what he wanted to ask is, did you wanna do, who did you want the survey to, who did you want to take the survey, students, parents, teachers, or what? And so then, he told me, why don't, you ask that question and then, give Mrs. Dial my information and she can have a discussion with, Mr. David Chavez on it, because I don't know exactly what it is that you guys are looking for or so forth, so, that's what he told me, he said he'd be willing to assist us with whatever we needed, he just needs to know who you want to take the survey.
Okay, I've got a question. At the meeting Saturday, John and I attended with some lawyers. The lawyer said that the school board needs to stay away from climate surveys. Like, those are basically for superintendents and administrators to look at their buildings, and that the board just really needs to just veer clear of them, that there's, I guess they can end up causing some problems.
He suggested you stay aboard, stay away from them to not cause any kind of,
Rifts.
yeah.
Something that the school has to put out itself, kind of.
He said, yeah, that usually climate surveys are done by, well, like Miss Gaither or Bobby or Chelsea would say, I wanna do a climate survey to see what the staff thinks we need to make improvements in, or if there's somebody that thinks that they're not doing a very good job, then they come up with a plan to help them. I mean, that's kind of the way he explained it, that basically to make your schools better.
Do a bunch of schools do that? I mean, a bunch of schools do like climate surveys and stuff. Do we do that every year?
No, not all schools do them, I think in all the years that I've been in it, I've done maybe 2 or 3 different, it all depends on the district, I guess, but not like every single district that I've been at, we participate in surveys.
It's not like a thing in every school.
No, not like when I was teaching, that's when I did the climate surveys. When I was in administration, I never did one as a district or anything like that. So I guess it's up to each individual district what they're looking for. I mean,
Was it done by the school board?
no, it was done by principals and superintendents. They did it to staff, but I was in one district where they actually had, students and teachers, kind of like the one that they do, that Mr. Sanji does, or 40 now, something like that, so that we get an idea. And then, like with the kids, you ask them, do they feel safe, and, are they learn, and stuff like that. It's up to, I think, the districts on how they wanna handle that. I think that it's a good tool to be able to, get some feedback from teachers, parents, and students, and see what it is that, come up with a plan on how you can improve, for whatever your weaknesses would be.
You always have to remember too that though, there are some personal, I mean, and I don't mean this towards staff, but mainly like maybe some parents or even students, there's some personal, attacks that could be.
There always is.
Always.
It's always a good idea to ask for input and feedback though, I mean, if you're not asking, then you're gonna forget.
Right. I
Yeah,
sent
you're
you
not
guys a
growing
link
if you're
to
not
one.
gonna, like, you're not trying to grow and get better if you don't ask.
Yeah, I just sent you all, a sample one I just found online, kind of have the same questions. Feel like safe at school, do you feel like you're heard when you, go to your, but I just sent it to your email, you can click on it and look at it. But that's just one sample, so there are, several out there, I just don't know how you would use those, Justin, if you know, like how you would use those sample ones online to how you would gather the data.
They're easy to do. I would do them through Google Forms is what I would do. It's easy. We do a lot of things through Google Forms for questionnaires and
Yeah,
you can get like pie chart statistics, you can get open-ended questions, paragraph answers, stuff like that, so.
I'm gonna send this, to you, Ray, so you can share with your
Okay.
team. I mean,
I would love it if the principals would consider doing that maybe yearly, just to get some feedback from our families and students and teachers.
I agree.
And the way they were talking, like, the principals would have meetings with their staff and kind of come up with some general concerns. And then they would kind of, or they would work with the superintendent on putting them
Narrowing it down,
together.
kind of deal.
You know, to what they wanted to ask.
So on that strategic plan that I prepared for you guys, it's got surveys in it. So for your new superintendent, that could be one of the goals that you want that individual to do, to make sure that, you know, climate surveys are implemented at the beginning of the year or halfway through the year. But the strategic plan itself already includes that in it.
we, at my, where I work, we do 2 a year.
Yep.
One for every semester.
Yeah, it should be like
And
standard
it's
practice.
just, and they're a little bit different because it's like, one is more like, school, focused, and then the other one is like more you and your goals and your, that kind of stuff, where you helped, where you're able to be supported in your goals and stuff like that. So it's, I mean, it was a little bit different, but they were, you know, decent, and they go over with us immediately, I mean. very
Should
well.
I go ask him if he needs something?
I think he was gonna come in and do this, yeah, check it out.
Anyway, I sent those to y'all, and I sent it to you if you wanted just to show your
Yeah, we'll,
your admin team just a sample, it's just one, I know there's more out there, but
Okay.
just a,
very good.
just an example of.
We'll do that, we'll look them over.
All right, so he's supposed to contact me?
I was gonna give you his information, so you can give him a call, I have his number, I'll give it to you.
Okay, I would rather email him, just so I can share it.
Okay, I'll forward you,
Okay.
I'll get you everything tomorrow, numbers and email.
Well, it just then I can remember our conversation
Okay.
if I can go back and reread it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will forward you his
Okay.
email tomorrow.
Perfect.
If I can find it, I can do it now.
Sounds good. Okay, update on possible bond election.
That is, we have Nick, we need to let Nick in, he's already
He's
there.
there,
Okay.
he's there.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
Brad.
Both of them there.
Yeah, so we have Brad and Nick for, under our board communication, update on the bond election.
Yeah, good evening, Madam President, members of the board. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Brad Ames with People Public Finance and Nick Kane with People Public Finance, who serves the, school district's bond advisor. We've been working with Superintendent Maestas and the board, over the last several months and looking at some options for, a possible bond election. After going through those initial, conversations, analysis, and receiving feedback, from a variety of folks, we are preparing
on the amounts that we're recommending in order to, get you to levels where the state will provide matching funds. And then also provide a little bit of, info on the tax impact. So, we are recommending an amount of 4.9 million that would bring you, to a capacity level to allow you to, again, get the state matching. And then, Nick, are you available at all to talk about the tax impact?
Yes, I'm on. I'm trying to see if I can share my screen. I'm having a little technical difficulties over here. I'm not sure if I need permission to share it because it won't let me do it on my own, but if not, maybe superintendent and my assistant share the one pager we sent over, maybe an hour ago. It has some details on what that tax impact is.
Do you wanna send it to me? Right, sorry, I'm gonna see if he's gonna send it to me so I can share, my screen, maybe.
Then go forward to you,
Well, the short, the short story here, and then we'll go into the deeper dive, is it's about $7.22 a month for $100,000 house in order to do this. And we also break it down on agricultural land per quarter section. Nick, what was the monthly amounts, if you've already said that, for the grazing and dry farmland?
The monthly amount for grazing was 9 cents, and then for dry farmland it was estimated to be 48 cents a month. And both of those are per quarter section, so per 160 acres.
And we usually, we're quoting you monthly numbers because most folks pay their property tax through their, through a monthly escrow on their mortgage payment. Of course, on the annual, it is less than it's about $86 on the 100,000. And then on grazing and dry farmland, $1.08 and $5.76. So, again, these are the levels that would allow you to get the matching funds from PSFA and PSCOC in order to get that state partnership in dollars. Great, looks like the document is showing that. So again, the top left of that page, it shows the 4.9 million that we're recommending for the amount. That brings you up to eligibility for PSFA waivers. It's about a $459,000 annual payment when you look at a 15-year repayment. The school district could go up to 20. We put a high interest rate, just conservative interest rate for the initial analysis here of 5%. We would anticipate something below that. And then that bottom section Nick built out shows the tax impact per type of property. So up top is the residential and commercial at 100,000, and then below that is per quarter section. Those numbers we worked with Union County to get some of those figures. Nick, anything to add before we open it up to questions?
No, I think that covers the main parts there. The last box shows just what the total contribution in project could be with a successful bond election. And so I think we'll pause there and see if there are any questions first.
Sorry, I'm trying to get it to where we can see it a little bit better.
Thanks for that information regarding the agricultural land.
Definitely.
Absolutely, and we'll reconfirm that with the county assessor once we get a little further down the road on that.
I'll send this to you.
That was helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So again, just information tonight. We wanted to make sure y'all were prepared before the January meeting when you'll actually be considering action.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
You're welcome. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys.
Okay.
So do we have to come up with something that we're gonna use the bond money for before January? Or no? Or do you already have that planned out?
I think that goes off of that, some of that list, and, I think that's where, I think on our next item with, communication with Kim again, she talked about that, about the bond capacity, about using, paying for, some items can only be paid once you hit that bond capacity and stuff, so, but I see what you're saying too, yes, and we did have a running list, and it's kinda like the one that we looked at in that special meeting. Of course, there might be more added to it now with some of the issues, right?
Oh, I kind of think so,
Oh,
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll still come.
So we're getting a new locker room?
So well, we kind of thought it was you that sabotaged it, actually.
Smart move, really.
are you the one that lowered our seats and stuff like that too?
It's all about the chilo rellenos, right?
It did start in his office and just go.
I'm trying to get this forwarded real quick.
She put a, like a request into Mr. Chatfield and, you know, the Senator Pat Woods about getting funding for a lock, you know, like towards the lockers and like equipment
So
outside.
We'll just jump right into that, unless
Sorry,
anybody has,
sorry,
no,
sorry.
no, that's okay, keep that thought. So anybody, anything on the bond election? Do we need to, so my question is, we're supposed to vote on this in January, is that what he just said?
That's what he told me to let them know. We need to vote on it again.
But
And then it goes to
before
like an
that-
actual,
But before that, he comes down and we do that meeting with the community, right? He does that community input.
Well, if we decide to do it, then we have to.
Decide to do it then.
Okay, so we
if
vote,
we
then
vote
go.
to do it,
Okay.
then you can,
Thank you.
I think.
Glad you guys.
Yeah, that's the way I
They still
understood
do,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or just, it looks so cold over there.
No.
It's like
'Cause
it's-
he is cold.
I hope.
Blanket out the
I
car
might
for
be,
you.
I don't know. We'll see.
You're getting sick, it's gross.
I'm around Zach too often, so
You're creeping me out.
I think so too.
when in doubt, blame Zach.
I think you need to go home.
Catch a lot of shade over here, Zach.
Sorry, guys.
Over here. You can
We're
run
trying
it.
to take care of
I
Justin
got this.
too. Okay.
He's got grandma.
I just don't get you sick.
Oh, I'm gonna get sick, it's fine.
What do you say?
He's got grandma bones.
Look who's talking.
I'm not built for this weather, man.
Okay, so we'll move on to item C.
Did
Okay.
Zach say I got grandma
On
bug?
communication
Oh, that's it.
With Kim again.
Where's my phone?
So, Gus, do you wanna take us into item C on board communication?
Sure. Miss again reached out to me, I shared with all y'all what she shared with me, and, I mean, the basics of it is, she put a proposal to, Jack Chatfield and Pat Woods about their capital outlay funding, is that right? Did I say that right? Their capital outlay funding on what they're gonna get, and, you know, he basically, Mr. Chatfield basically told me that like they have an allocated amount, they don't know what it's gonna be yet, they'll figure that out in January. And then they pick through whatever like has the needs of whatever communities that they see, and they usually work together on filling those needs. And I think the total amount that they were gonna ask for, that Ms. again asked for was $350,000. So that would go towards playground equipment at the Alvis and the junior high, I don't remember what else was on the list.
Probably those,
The locker rooms?
Locker rooms, the gym floor,
what about the,
The shade for the
shading for the
preschool.
preschool?
yes, I think that was, she said she could find money for that in a different, it's very confusing, in a different bucket. I don't know where the bucket is, I don't know what the bucket's called, but she explained that to me, that it was like a different, it would be better to go after that money with another, like, in another venture, I don't know what it was called.
We need her to contact Chelsea
Yeah,
about that and about the cribs, like
Definitely.
yesterday.
yeah,
So, because she can't, I mean, I feel like,
we're stuck. like, on
Right,
the- I agree.
right. So,
How much did you say she said she'd try to get donated?
350,000. And that is from, both of them, yeah, Senator Pat Woods and Mr. Chatfield, so. It was kinda like, weightlifting equipment was on there, I don't know, and it was kind of like, we had the big list, and she sorted through it to see like, I think this would go here, and this could work here for this. and
where
that. So,
money comes
yeah,
from and.
Yeah, it was kinda like sorted out the needs that she could find, she thought, so,
Great,
that was what that was based off of.
I'm excited about that.
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
But we do need, communication has been bad, and I apologize for that,
Well,
I guess.
I think because, like, Zach said that, she's been paid, right, Zach? And, the agreement is there, is that right?
Yeah, her PO was in place before, it was just under a weird name, I didn't know what it was under. So we couldn't find it at first, but when she sent the invoice for the new PO, we found out it was already in there.
Okay, so she had been being paid, she had been paid
Good.
before?
Yes, before, but not for this year, because that
Okay.
wasn't the.
Okay, I'm glad that's straightened out, thank you. Okay.
So I apologize for that the communication's been bad.
Well, that's not your fault.
I don't think
Hey,
it's
she
like.
answered the phone the other day, so.
Nice, alright, that's
one
step in the right direction, okay.
I'm sure she's got lots of irons in the fire too, but we really do need her to communicate, especially with that daycare. We need her to get with Chelsea.
Get that figured out.
Yes, and have a regular communication with Chelsea about
I
that,
agree.
for sure.
I agree.
Okay, any questions on that? So, I'm gonna bring this up, and it's not on here, but that's okay, because it's still under board communication, but I kind of feel like we need to have like and I'm totally okay with this. I don't wanna be in charge of doing everything. I don't wanna be the contact person for everything, and I don't think that's fair, because I think that's why we're a team, so I would like if you could take that and just continue doing it, because you do have that, already that background that you talked to her a few times, so that's good with me if it's okay with the rest of the board.
Sure.
I
You
mean,
okay with that?
And then,
Okay, not that she talks, don't think that she like calls me once a week or whatever.
but
She
somehow,
I'm also on the island, just further inland.
that's okay. Hey, we'll take what we can get,
Okay.
right? We'll take what
Alright.
we can get. I consider that a good thing, that she communicates with you in that way. I think that's great. But also things like, with our superintendent search, our surveys, because I've been getting a ton of, these emails, and I still have a full-time job. So, and I know you all do too. But I do think that we could spread those responsibilities out.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And any ideas, if you guys wanna like say, hey, I'll go and then search for the surveys, send them on to them, because we want our administrators to be the ones who say, yeah, I think that these are good, this is the feedback. we
This'll
want."
work.
Right,
Well, I think they can search for them.
They can find out.
absolutely, they can find them and, just hand that over to them would be great.
So I guess, how do you need us to help then? Like, what do you need?
So I'm just thinking like, okay, so, especially whenever it comes to like superintendent search, I know we're all gonna have to be like we're all gonna have to be included. And I certainly don't mind being the contact person with, Mr. Sullivan and stuff, but, not necessarily that, because I'm trying to forward you guys anything I get from him. So, and we know we can't discuss it except for in a meeting, but, I'm just forwarding you the information. But anything else, I mean, if you guys think of like, there's some things that,
When major issues do come up, feel free to delegate. and
Right.
we'll help out.
okay, good.
Speaking of the superintendent search, though, did you contact him about a date
So-
in January?
Okay, so guys about January eighth. I will not be here because I have training from the sixth through the eighth in Albuquerque. I'll be on my way home. I don't leave Albuquerque till 4. So I won't be here in time. And if you guys wanted to go ahead and do that, then I'm okay with that. If you wanted to, I mean,
if we like recorded it all, like, would it matter? Like, in that way you could go over
it
it?
doesn't matter. But, I mean, I just know I cannot be here. There's no way I can be here.
What day is January 8th?
It's on a Wednesday.
It's the 1 week before our regular meeting.
That would work for me, but whatever y'all wanna do, I'm good with.
That's exactly what it said.
I mean, I don't wanna be the person holding it up, so, and I think it needs to happen before that meeting, and it just
Sooner.
makes for a very long evening if we have a 2-hour work session
I agree.
plus a board meeting.
And they said they wanted to have something more prepared for the regular meetings. I
Right.
think doing it the same night doesn't work.
Well, and Jana and I were talking about, what was that other date, Jana?
Was it the 6th, Monday the 6th? But you're gone that day too, right?
I'm gone the 6th through the 8th, yeah. But were we talking about that later on that week, like on Friday, the 10th?
There's a game.
Yeah, we don't wanna do that. The 9th, is there a game in the 9th?
I think so.
What about, it was the 13th, that's what it was, the Monday. The 13th.
I can do the 13th.
If that gives them enough time to put together whatever they.
Yeah, that's the thing,
Well,
that's
he was
the,
gonna be here that day. I mean, I don't know, but for our,
for the board meeting,
you know,
to
and
get stuff ready for a board
I
meeting.
just wonder if like, if he's gonna be here, that board, if we couldn't do it, I don't know, maybe the day before or something, but I don't know, that might be a game too.
It's not, unless I have a schedule. The 14th isn't a game unless I don't have it down. It would be okay with me if you would contact them and say, would the 13th or 14th work, and if not, if it's okay with you, we could do the 8th.
The way he talked, he wanted, like the 8th was kind of the latest, because they had to get the presentation
I
ready.
had told him I couldn't make it on the 8th, whenever we talked on the phone, I told him I couldn't. But I honestly, like, I really am okay with you guys meeting with him, and then, I mean, going from there, I'm okay with that.
Let's set it up for the 8th, it's not like it's gonna be any decisions made then.
No.
And we
No,
could
no,
like,
Yeah, no.
and we
And
could
it could
like,
be, honestly, you could do a Google
A
Meet or
Zoom or
something like
something.
that, and it could be recorded,
yeah,
because I'll be driving by myself.
And
Yeah.
maybe he can
but
send.
we could do that though, like, we could just record it all and then.
Yeah, or I trust you guys to fill me in. You guys I can call somebody.
And maybe he can send us all a list of what we're gonna be talking about, and you can send your
Maybe.
ideas.
I mean, I'm good with, we've discussed it before, and I think that you all already know, like, we're all kind of on the same page, and I totally trust you guys to go in there and say everything that I would say anyways.
Let's set it up for the 8th.
Do you need me to contact him, or are you good?
I can email him back if you want, but I'll email him, remind me to do that right after our meeting, or like in 2-minute break between seconds. Remind me to do that, so I can do that.
Okay.
Because it's been like, I'm running for me this week, so. But, okay.
Way to go,
Just one.
way to go. I didn't even look over there.
Like, we forget, yes, please.
That should be
Go
accurate.
ahead and do
See how I
that.
am about it? Yeah, just take that and then, I'll do it. Okay. All right, moving to financial matters, consideration approval of financial reports.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board. Presenting to you the financial packets in Google Drive. And just, if y'all have any questions on those, I'll answer whatever you need. But so I sent an email out that I was gonna go over with y'all to see what you thought to everyone. If it loads, my Wi-Fi's terrible. Because we've been having trouble with the deposits. And them people not turning in the money within the 24-hour time frame. So this is what I sent out. It said timely submission of deposits. Good afternoon, everyone. We've noticed ongoing challenges with sponsors and employees not submitting funds within required 24-hour time frame. Please remember that all deposits must be turned in the central office within 24 hours of receiving the money. This is not a Clayton Municipal Schools policy, it's a state statute. Moving forward, failure to comply
problem since I can remember.
Oh, yeah.
Back when I was teaching, if you didn't turn it in, you paid for it.
That would make more people do it on time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's already helped a lot. I sent that out in just a week. We've already seen people turn them in daily.
Good, good,
Thank you.
yeah.
It's the
Great.
law, for God's sake.
Great job.
Yeah, that's one of our biggest audits on these every year, so we need to get that under control.
It's everything.
So do you guys have any questions about the financials for the month of November?
Madam President, I move that we approve the financial report.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the financial report. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Financial report is approved, and there are no bars and transfers, right?
Great.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, get feeling better.
Feel better.
I'm good with Mr. Howard, the faulty test.
You can't bring down a champion.
All right, action items, A, consideration approval of procurement guidelines for district policies. We talked a little bit about this, right? Before?
Yes, we talked about it last board meeting, and that's just basically saying that, for, I think it's 5,000 and,
5,000,
Yeah.
is that?
so he, I think he actually gave you a handout on it for the last board meeting, breaking it down.
About you have to have, like,
Quotes and stuff like
yes,
that.
yeah, I remember that.
Yes, it's the same thing that we had already followed, so.
Okay.
Y'all good with it? Madam President, I move that we approve the procurement guidelines for district policies.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve procurement guidelines for district policies. Any discussion? Yeah, I remember we just had to put it on the agenda to vote on it. That's right. Yeah. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Procurement guidelines for district policies have been approved. Thank you. Consideration approval of dedication in honor of Andrew Garcia. I was visiting with, Ray about this, and he came up with a really good idea.
Actually, I didn't come up with, somebody gave it to me, but can't take credit for it.
All right.
Anyway, so what, the discussion that was had is, instead of naming like buildings after, someone, because we're gonna eventually run out of buildings, I imagine, especially with demo. But anyway, with bringing up the demoing, we're thinking of when it comes down and it gets filled in and we do it, concrete over and so forth, we make it like a little, area there, like a venue where you could have like a gazebo or something like that, but have benches and stuff like that, and then maybe dedicate a bench to some employee that, has worked here. So, in talking to the family, they basically, said that they would leave it up to our discretion on how we wanted to do it, whether it be a building or how we did it. And so if that's an idea, once, that building goes down and we get some benches for it and so forth, we can go ahead and dedicate it to like Mr. Garcia or whoever else comes down the road. And like other family can actually come down here, maybe hang out there, sit in the bench or whatever and do, something like that. It could be like, I don't know, Memorial Park or something like that, and go with that.
They had those benches at the golf course, and it's pretty neat.
It is cool, I like that. That's a good idea.
Good idea.
And maybe our, metal, or welding class could help with the,
Right.
with the little signs and stuff, so it's a kind of a win for everybody.
My recommendation is that we approve and then I'll reach out to the family and know what our thoughts are, and then once we get it going, we'll get it,
If that's like a gazebo, then another place for families to actually go,
No, I
to,
think
and not just the benches.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a good point.
True.
That's a good idea.
So we're talking about like, what is that gonna be called? Is that going to be another, like what is that area going to be called once that's demoed? I mean, not a name, but what would you, it's not a
courtyard.
It's not a courtyard, but,
Memorial Park.
or, okay.
See, just after the
The Ray Dunkel, Memorial Park.
Ray Finkel.
As Mr. Howard with that, it's all about, what's it, Tyler Dunkel ended up over at Springer because of all the issues we had. And I told him, man, that's my brother, Ray Dunkel. I'm his brother. He's like, oh, that's just kidding. No, I don't know. You guys would have to determine a name for it.
So should we go ahead and,
We can vote on a dedication and then
I'll reach out to the
later on,
company and let them know what we plan
so
to
this
do.
is just a dedication, it's not saying where, so, okay.
Madam President, I move that we, approve a dedication in honor of.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the dedication in honor of Andrew Garcia. Any further discussion? We'll look at gazebo benches, someplace to honor. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, so the dedication in honor of Andrew Garcia has been approved. Items suggested for future meetings?
Mr.
and the resolution for a bond?
Resolution for the bond.
You catch all this?
Yeah, actually, ready to go.
I mean, you,
What's next?
I wish I could type faster, type at all, really. I just have one finger.
Okay,
But,
so
We have an app for the kids.
resolution for bond, Mr. Sullivan and, Dr. Paul and the superintendent search. What else?
Will we have any information from Kim Leggett by our January meeting?
Yeah, hopefully.
Push, push, push,
Yeah.
and tell her to reach out to Chelsea.
Yeah, I will, okay, all right.
Because if she can get those cribs, then let's get them. I mean,
Yeah.
and, because then.
How many cribs, is Chelsea still there? Hi, Chelsea. How many cribs we talking?
I wanna say, it depends on the ages of our kiddos. I'm trying to think, I think like 6 to 8 cribs is what we're gonna need. Since I have so many that are below 2 years of age and they have to be in a crib.
8. 8 will hire one.
Yeah.
We'll call it 10.
Make it 10, there you go.
Not a space for 10, but we'll take 10.
You never know when you need spare.
I mean, hopefully
Exactly.
they
Always
like
wonder.
You
the.
might need spare parts.
Alright, okay,
I guess a pack and play doesn't count as a crib.
no,
Allegedly.
okay, so, anything else, shoot it my way.
Did we cover everything? Can we talk about something else for the new year? I guess not.
Oh, what about the survey?
Oh, the climate.
Well, we can do.
Do you all wanna try to have something for us next meeting on the survey?
Maybe like more communication or something?
We don't have to approve that, I mean, it's just maybe thinking of what you found, what you came, and then when you're gonna get it out, okay?
And I guess it ain't the next board meeting, but we'll have to have the deal on January the 8th, as a board meeting,
No. As a work session.
work session.
Yeah, that, and then, I guess that doesn't have to be on the next agenda.
And what time are we gonna have it, Sid?
At 4, 5, 6.
I don't care.
I bet it lasts a couple, I bet it lasts longer than we want.
It'll last
So,
a couple hours,
Just,
just like he
just so
said.
you guys will know, that's when we're gonna be over there, so I know you guys had some hiccups with me not being with you in Albuquerque, so. Just let you know, okay?
Yeah, all right.
And you're gonna be where, oh, yeah,
I'll be getting a
Well,
massage
gotta
right
keep
about
her under
then,
control.
so whatever.
What happened with
He's on
Ruth
his
or
own.
something?
Oh, yeah.
I get all the scoop, man.
I always kicked her
I
out.
switched rooms.
Because it was so loud.
First, they were gonna kick her out.
Yeah, she was getting kicked out, and they were like, hey, they're taking all of Janet's stuff out of the room.
no, I guess we better,
They closed in her room and he was his room.
okay,
Easy peasy.
all
There's
right,
a lot of
so I
stuff with
have,
surround-
So what time was that meeting?
do y'all wanna, are you guys gonna meet like at 4 o'clock that day?
Ask Kim, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
the 4 or work,
Okay,
okay,
I'll
works for me.
Whatever
Oh, yeah,
y'all wanna do works
yeah,
for me.
yeah.
So we're not here all night.
Yeah, true.
Okay, I'll ask him, and then once I know, I'll send it to Ray so he can have Cassie, send the,
But is that what we're talking about, the 8th?
Yes.
Okay.
okay. All right, so we have executive session NMSA 1978, section 12-15H2 pertaining to the discussion of limited personnel matter, superintendent formal yearly evaluation. I do need a roll call vote, or a motion and a roll call vote.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
It's been moved and seconded to go into executive session. Roll call vote, please.
Gus Wood, aye.
Like Mon's like,
John Trio, aye.
Kim Leal, aye. Board's going into executive session at 7:06.